And for how long do you have like the Dury Dava project now?
The real one, you mean?
Yeah.
8 years or something? Yeah. 9, 8.
Our first concert was in 2016 at a place called Green Park. It was just before they tore it down, and the whole area is now gentrified. So here's my political comment.
Okay, nice.
Right at the start.
Okay. Do you guys would like to start the game and pick one of the paper in my super black hats?
Okay,
Sure.
I can start. Should I start?
Yeah.
I'm very nervous right now.
Just pick. Yeah, and I think written it in Greek because I did old Greek in school, so I was trying to read a little bit, but I put the translation.
Okay.
Can I see?
Yeah, sure.
And this is a tough one.
Raise your voice.
This is a tough one, everybody.
Which one is
It's Ataxia.
Okay.
Would you like to?
What? Can we have to play it?
No, we describe it.
You describe like
Or we give an anecdote.
Yeah, or just
how it was
Can we
written.
rehearse it?
We can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes. Elias?
Που σου παράξενα μικρά θηλαστικά και μου φωνάζουν
Πού και πού, να γίνω ένα με τον κόσμο τι μαϊμού. Στο βυθό, η φάση είναι στο βυθό, στον ουρανό θα φανταστώ και μόνο μια θα αναδυθώ. Ataxia!
now my favorite band.
So this is the first part of the song,
Yep.
and it's about a clear subject, I think. No, we don't know exactly, but yeah, you can say.
If you want.
Yeah.
Okay, we were once in a beach in Greece in an island called Fourni. Me and him were there, and some other friends. And at some point before the chorus, Ataxia, the song says "Η φάση είναι στο βυθό," which means the good shit is down the deep. So we were, anyways, down the deep of the ocean or whatever, deep. So we were there and at this beach, very magical and stuff. And at some point we realized that on the seashore there's a plankton, like glittering plankton. So we went inside at night and started to do that to the water so the plankton gets out. And like, a friend of ours said, the good shit is on the deep.
There's more like glittery stuff down there.
So that's a part of a lyric. It comes from there.
Yeah, cool story. Perfect. Like my goal is perfectly fulfilled. I'm happy. So the question was, okay, it's kind of a random question, but just like, what are your influence for like the band or each of you, or maybe your like guilty artist pleasure that you like?
You know, all of us have a common taste in the 70s, a lot of German music, krautrock like Gun and Neu and all this area. After that, some more punk stuff and some Greek music and whatever we like. You know, it's like we didn't talk about it a lot. We just
Kind
like
of
stuff.
a patchwork of all your influence and everything you like.
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's the way we build up the band sounds.
And possibly as we get a little bit more confident and find new ways to communicate with each other, we bring in new stuff that maybe each person individually likes and suggests. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But everyone is very open. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
And maybe it's important to note that for the first album and and also at other times, we actually don't really know what we're doing.
Okay.
We're more spectators of what's happening.
Well, congrats, you unlock one of the first square of the album.
Wow. You should we place it like?
Yeah, okay, so basically it's just like the 9 square. I divided 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. So we've just got 9 square
This is achievement.
I know where this is.
Yes, I know too.
Okay.
Don't there.
All right, are we going clockwise?
Doing that.
Yeah. Pick a song.
It's in French, I don't know. No, it's Ilektrosok.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Well, do you have an anecdote or like a story during the process of the song or
I
whatever?
think maybe Dimi have to talk about that again. But the point is that this song should be in Turkish.
Okay.
But unfortunately it's in Greek. I think that's the main point.
Yeah, at some point we were singing this song in Turkish, but not real Turkish, like
Mumble
Turkish. Yeah, Turkish. And at some point in the chorus, right, it said "İvarmaye çok."
That's the only Turkish word existing in the Turkish.
Oh, yeah.
İvarmaye çok.
So then we kind of try to bring it in Greek. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but we try to bring it in Greek. So İvarmaye çok became Ilektrosok, which means electric shock.
Okay.
But the real meaning behind is İvarmaye çok, which we're not going to say what it is.
Okay. Yes. It's about your experience of watching other concerts in live. Like, what was the concert live that you preferred to see, or the one that you noticed the most, like your best concerts, basically? But as a spectator, not you, Dury Dava playing.
Okay, we played in a festival in Saristra, Kefalonia, amazing island. Very good festival. Now it's over, but it's amazing. So the second time we went there, the headliner the day we played was Minami Deutsch, which is an amazing band from Japan that we really love, and it's I guess a big influence for us. So these guys came from somewhere, and their stuff, guitars and shit, got lost somewhere in the airport. So the guys from the festival were asking a lot of bands if they can play with their instruments, and some didn't want, and they asked us, and we gave them their instruments. We gave them our instruments. So we saw, actually, after we played in this amazing place in the woods, in a mountain in Kefalonia, a Japanese band playing insane music with our instruments. And it was amazing, and it was one of the best lives I've been.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I had forgotten about this, but it's true. So nice, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dinosaurus.
To satisfy the story. Yeah.
I'd say we like surprises, I think, in concerts sometimes when you don't, you don't know what you're gonna listen to, and it's something.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, this is for you. You unlock a new piece of the puzzle, Dury Dava.
Yeah.
You know where that
course.
goes. No, left go. No, it's wrong.
Somewhere here.
It's
Somewhere.
this
here
is
or
here.
No, it's not there. So this is the corner, left corner. Here we have, it says Dury Dava here, so it can't be there. So this is
right there.
is right there. We have another one there, and then another over there.
Well, who wants to pick?
Lilia.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, Satana.
Yes, that was the question that I was waiting the most for. So this is really a question just for me. What are the lyrics fucking about? Because I do not speak Greek, and I would like to know. I'm listening to this song a lot. What I'm listening to, please. And
You know,
answer.
I think throughout the history of rock and roll, reference to Satan make good hit songs.
So it's just a clickbait.
It was
But
AI.
what happens very often as we jam, because jamming is a part of what we do. I mean, I guess this is something that you might be interested in. So jamming, recording jams, listening to them, and then coming back and saying, oh, like 350 to 520, there's this amazing riff, maybe we should do it again, like blah, blah, blah. And while we do that, Dimitris, or AKA Mr. Dinosaurus, very often makes up words. And Ilias, I know for sure, and myself, we absolutely love it. And this is what happened in Satana. For example, there's this one word which says Solele fadas mena grammatia. which now has become, just like before we turned the Turkish into Greek, now we turned the mumbling into Greek, and it turned into San elefadas me mavra matya, which means like an elephant with a black eyes. So the literal translation is...
I met an elephant with black eyes, by the way, but I'm not gonna say who.
Mr. Elephantius.
I think it says, listen to Satan through drums that are shouting. He spreads death like an elephant with black eyes. And then it says something along the lines of, inside my brain swims and wanders a whale, but I will catch it, I will catch it, I will catch it, and then...
Is that a Moby Dick reference?
Of course it is.
Could be. It is my favorite book, by the way. But I don't know if it was...
You didn't catch it.
Yeah, but I think...
You were reading it.
Yeah, I was reading at the time, and lately when I sing, I say some words and then some I don't, and I feel like this thing with Satan and sheep and Captain Ahab. I mean, I
But
don't know.
for certain, I mean, we're not like Satanists or anything. Actually, we don't.
I don't know.
Or maybe, I mean, we're not. We're not. We're just.
It depends.
We are because we exist, but we're not.
Speak about yourself.
You
No,
can
no,
call
no.
Satan, but it doesn't mean it's not exactly like a bad thing necessarily. Satan was from Greece. He was funny. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think in a way we call Satan, but in a good way. You know, Satan.
Yeah, there are these Kurdish Middle Eastern religions who worship some kind of Satan, not in this way though, not like in a very dark, killing babies way. I don't say Satanists to do that. No offense to Satanists.
I don't know what they do.
We love you guys. See you at the concert.
And just one question about Satana. Please, bro, the bass line. How did you come up with this pure, marvelous thing?
It's not a bass line, but it's played on the bass.
Yeah,
So maybe it is a bass line.
Just
But I
like
think
the
what's
bass
worth,
line,
I don't know how it came.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, here's a bass and here's a wah. So some interesting things happened. But I think what's worth noticing for anyone who hasn't picked up the reference is that there is a direct reference on the first line that plays on the bass, and then the last phrases by the clarinet. This is it's like almost literally note for note from Eric Satie. Yeah, I think it's the Gymnopédie number 1. And that was
yes.
so we reharmonized that.
Yeah, now I'm playing.
We made it into a 7, like a 7 beat, which is very common in Greece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
This is for you.
This is easy.
Come on, they communicate the
This
two.
is very easy.
Well, who's next on the hats?
Manos.
Me, you should skip me. Would be more interesting. No. Go.
Oh, Piscina, part 1, part 2. Shit.
Which part?
You want to do that? Sometimes we really no idea what we're doing. Like most of the times, it's true. And that's Piscina, part 1, part 2.
Especially part 2.
Yeah, but also part 1.
But especially part 2.
Yeah.
But also part 1.
It's different for me. It's kind of like Piscina 1 is slapping you on the face, and then Piscina 2 is like hugging you a little bit more.
On the
So
face.
nice to say it.
I like it. We don't play that lately, but it's a good one. I don't know. Sometimes.
We could say that alongside like Ilektrosok, they were written kind of during COVID, so
Yeah.
it was a particular way of,
Wow, yeah.
you know, I mean,
It's true.
we didn't compose these songs the same way we did the previous ones or the latest ones, I guess, because we couldn't meet as often. But we would do stuff like 2x2 or 3x3 or 4 of us, you know. So yeah, I would say the bizarreness of it might come from that as well.
But maybe it is a good representation of the prog elements that we have, and that we do play with antitheses in general.
Yeah, but I want to say that we don't really play with that. We're just 5 people and we all try to put our, souls inside it. So this antithesis comes kind of naturally, I think. It's no other way, I guess.
It's true. But it's kind of also one of my favorite 2 songs. Like,
You
and
see?
for real.
I like Messina, he doesn't like
Some people don't really like the song.
I wasn't there, guys.
I love the square.
Oh, that's easy.
Here or here?
Yurgis is like, he doesn't know. How's the band called, Yurgis?
Dury
Dava. Okay, I'm picking the next one.
That's what I did, man.
I'm picking the next one. Please be. Oh wow, Ataxia. Okay, this is fantastic. I can say some interesting things about that. The first time we played in France, we had 2 shows in Paris. It was 2019, and then COVID came, and it really killed our momentum. But at the second concert was somewhere really far away. It was one of those so far lives, which are in people's living rooms. This specific one was in an art space of some person. So far concerts.
Or
They're
carpet
store. It was in a carpet store, and we had to do a semi-acoustic set. And again, we didn't know how that would turn out. And we jammed the thing that it had. There are some elements that we had seen before in our rehearsals, but really we made this song like on stage. So this is where like rehearsal, studio, and live become one somehow. It means mutation, and this is also something that we talk a lot about, and also in our lives. And we transform. We're different animals every day. It's important to understand what animal, like for example, the drummer might be a butterfly today, or tomorrow the drummer might be a caterpillar, and I have to recognize that, so I treat the drummer appropriately. So
Either step on him or
or take pictures. You want to add something?
No. That was the first part of the song in Paris.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the other part.
To this gig, we went using scooters. Because it was less
strike.
Huge strike.
Gilets jaunes.
Yeah. So we came here and we couldn't.
Next year,
No.
Maybe, no,
Anyway,
sorry.
Strikes. Huge strikes, and we couldn't reach the gig. So we actually took the guitars and all the gear, and we went with lime scooters. No, yeah,
Scooters.
fuck lime.
For real.
It was quite fun the way.
stolen scooters.
No.
I'm kidding. You said punk.
What was the song? It's Ataxia.
Oh.
Easy peasy.
Well, it's smaller than I thought. I thought it would be like that.
Megalo Moro. We have a great, it's one of my favorite jam recordings we have on my phone, actually. It's called New Recording 45, and it's a very, very, very, very, very slow version of the song. Completely different. It's an odd meter, I think.
13.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a very spacey, weird. Anyway, so that became the song, and I find it really nice that this happened. I don't know, if we could, we would share that recording as well, just to, I don't know, it's nice how they interact, I think. And then we all came together and we kind of...
In one session.
One session times 125. But yeah,
It
took a long
faster
time.
and faster, then maybe a little slower. Then we took it down like 2 semitones because it was too high. Right?
Yeah.
It used to be F sharp. Now it's E.
Megalo Moro means big baby. And yeah, they kind of call me. You can say.
We were a summer holiday, and we love this band Acid Baby Jesus, and from Greece, and we were on vacation again on some beautiful island or something, and we were, you know, when you're on vacation, you spend too much time together, and some people start whining all the time, you know. So instead of us Baby Jesus, started calling him Big Baby Jesus, because he was like breaking our and Then I think we told him, why don't you write a song about that?
Yeah.
But it changed. It doesn't talk about.
Before we get the actual story from the source, let's say that it sounds like a love song because it's someone who's crying like a big baby when he or she doesn't have what they want. But it's not a love story. It's someone who is very upset when their phone dies of battery. Literally. It's like how much we're addicted to technology. And I think this is really cool, the way that Dimitris plays with words and does that sometimes with double meanings. Particularly this one is cool.
Also, like it's kind of talks about the connection with screen, like any kind of screen. But it's also kind of hidden. It seems like a love song maybe or something like that. But it kind of talks like, people being like that all the time. That's it.
So the question is about your experience on stage. Like, what was the concert that marked you the most? Like, which you have the best memories about it?
2 years ago, maybe that's the common we all want to talk about. We played. We played in Nisyros. It's a very nice island in Greece. Yes.
It's a big part.
And there's a volcano there.
Okay.
And
we played inside.
We played in the volcano.
It's very important to note that this is one of many DIY concerts that we do, which means we get a generator, we get our own stuff. This is not without there's no like authority which says, okay, you can do it. We do it. We take over the space. We think it's important. It's free.
We take the risk.
We take the risk, along with other people who take the risk with us. And this is important for us to do. And one time we did this on the volcano in Nisyros, and it was really magical and psychedelic.
Probably the best show.
Full moon as well.
It happened to be August full moon. We didn't need lighting.
Yeah, it was full moon, and then we kind of played we had a party afterwards. It was one of the most amazing places we've been. Like, it's a thing of a volcano, and then we had we're playing music there and in this huge area, and the last song was Bolero by Ravel. When it was
when
starting
the sun
to
rose, and for 16 minutes people were doing ballet in the.
And everybody was doing ballet in the volcano with Bolero Ravel.
Just like building up this story that it's absolutely not true. You just like improvised. No, but I believe you. But just it sounds like it's a big fake, but that's amazing.
Okay, let's keep it like that.
Bolero was playing when the sun was rising in a volcano and everybody was dancing, but the Bolero was put from YouTube. So at some point there was like an advertisement about toothbrushes that was heard like beyond space and time, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
And
We all bought those.
We all use these brushes. They're fantastic.
Okay, nice. And just quickly, like, which is the song that you prefer to perform on live?
Oh, yeah.
If you have one. If you don't, it's okay.
For me, it changes. It changes.
I love to play Κάνε λίγο αληθινά.
We played it only once.
I think it's the one song. We played it.
We played it in the Anglican church in.
Really?
In Sindagma, yeah.
It's the last track of this album, the first one, and it was improvised during the recording, so we never actually
Learn to play. Learn to play it.
I could say that my favorite, not song but part, is the end of Ataxia because I
Because
like.
it's your solo, right?
It's not a solo. It's not my only solo. I really like that part.
Congrats, this is for you guys.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Here.
It's here, I think.
Okay, it's kind of easy to do my puzzle. But still.
It was cool though. This is
Nice.
Well, who wants to pick the last two?
Right. Come on, kid octopus.
Ela Pali Na. That's I think it's one of my favorites.
Oh,
Actually.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's also one of the songs I really like to play live. That's about the previous question. And I think it's okay. I'll don't talk about the lyrics. I think I'll talk about the whole thing that we're doing there. It's it was in the start. It's one of our first songs in a way, and it's there was the period, as we said before, we didn't knew exactly what we were doing, so we tried many things and many things, and we were playing it with different parts that they're not anymore in the song and blah blah for like 5 months, and tried, and then one day it worked, and we all agreed it works. That's how I feel about it.
The thing I want to say about the song is that it literally translates to come again to. So it's like it's open-ended. Come again to, and then it's like a blank.
But then it has a.
But then I mean, in the song,
But for like 5 seconds, you have no.
and it does
idea.
remind me of the title "Alone Again" or by Love, and I really love that we did it as well. Ela Pali Na, something. Alone Again or what is that? Or what?
And the music has a love reference in a way.
Yeah, but it's also double meaning. It seems like a love song, but it's not a love song. I mean, it is a love song, but about something else, not a human being.
Yeah, it does touch upon issues like substance abuse, maybe.
Substance abuse. Yeah.
Substance
And
abuse.
now the thing with the music as well it's an open-ended. If you wanna kind of
No, it has a plagal cadence at the end. 4-1. It's like 1. It finishes. We're done.
but it's 2-5, 2-5, 2-5.
Okay.
It's like Ela Pali Na 2-5.
And so the question was, okay, so like a lot of people are saying, I don't know, few people are saying that Dury Dava is kind of like psychedelic rock. And my question was, what is your relationship with this musical genre? Like, do you agree with this? Do you take influence from the psyche, or do you reject it? Maybe because sometimes we put a label on bands and it's absolutely not that. I was just like wondering your relationship with this musical genre.
I think we do use this term, but moderately. I mean,
Ideally, we wouldn't use any terms, but at some point someone was like, "What are you doing?" And we wrote a little passage, and it was very funny. And it still is funny.
Yeah, we definitely really like psychedelic rock, but we really like many things that are music. Most of them are, of course, music, but I think we get influenced by other stuff as well. And when we talk about our songs, we might say like a video game or a movie or something else as a reference.
Or an animal, like
Yeah.
penguins, for example.
I think that's a universal problem of any band who's asked what kind of music you play. Like, I don't know, we listen to it, and this is the music.
But I personally don't like it so much now in the tour that I've seen.
The music we play.
Also, no, all the posters say like psychedelic crowd, baba biri biri. I don't really like. Yeah, I wish it was just Dury Dava, and maybe from the poster and like you get a vibe from other stuff than crowd rock and psychedelic. I don't really like that, you know.
Almost there.
Yep, last one.
Manos.
Me? Well, to be honest, you know, I'm the sound engineer. That you're talking about it. Tritico. You put back in again. You.
He's a funny guy.
So. You mean zupa?
Yeah.
Well, zupa is like the soup, but zupa. Well, I cannot definitely not talk about the meaning of the song because I don't know it. I can explain what it means, but no, zupa is like a squeeze.
Squishy. Yeah. It could be in like a friendly way or like friendly banter, or it could be maybe erotic also at times. Zupa.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this song is.
Take it from here.
Yeah, you like to be zooped, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Zupa is like you know that thing that the cats do like this on somebody's
With their
belly.
paws, they like.
You know?
Cats.
That's kind of like Zupa. It is kind of an erotic song as well, in a way, not really. But it also, it's one of those times that you really don't want to do anything except Zupa. I mean, yeah, not intercourse. It says I will snooze forever in the end. You know, like sometimes you say, fuck this world. I'm not gonna even get out of my bed because nothing is important and everything is meaningless. Besides maybe staying with your pillows.
I think it's worth teaching whoever will listen to this the Greek word chuzurevo, which is I think a very nice way to say snooze. Turkish roots. Because snoozing means you put an alarm, but chuzurevo there is no alarm. Like you know very well what you're doing. You're just lazing in bed. You could be alone, maybe you're not. You could be doing zupa with someone else, or maybe just with yourself.
Okay, well, so just last question.
Well, now where would that go?
Whoa, I'm wondering.
Come on, we also have.
It's mainly about your choice of the.
For the album cover.
Yeah, exactly. How did you get at the end to this?
It was a very similar process to what we did, to what we do when we write music, but in this case we also involved another person. Her name was Katerina Karalli. She sort of discovered us at one of these DIY concerts, which we did at a Indian food place called Curry Palace in the center of Greece. Like literally, we just went and we set up and we did that. And she is an incredible illustrator and designer, and she specializes in collages. And we had a lot of sessions with her. We're sharing references. And she came up with this masterpiece. I mean, I don't know what to say. About the cosmic soup or the donkey on the Datsun, the tomato with wings, this little, these energy gems and belly dancer and like the completely psychedelic jellyfish over here. This is one of many, many times we've been very lucky to work with people who are also very talented and have they've made a difference. It's lovely when you work with people like that.
Well, I think that's all. Thank you very much for everything, taking the time and everything. I hope it was not a boring interview and you liked it a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camille.
See you.